You ever dreamed about taking a motorcycle adventure but you weren't sure how much money you would need? In this video I'm going to share with you guys my 4-step system on exactly how you can figure out what your next motorcycle trip will cost you. It's a system that'll work for anyone, on any motorcycle, traveling anywhere, any length of trip, and it's really easy, so stay tuned. What's up guys, I'm Tim and this is my channel 40 Times Around. Today we're hanging out in Tonto National Forest and we're going to be talking about motorcycle trip budgets. Basically that just means how can you figure out what your trip will cost you before you leave. So this is actually really important, not just because you don't want to run out of money, but also you want to make sure that you don't sell yourself short. Your dream trip might not actually cost you as much as you think it would, and it may be closer within reach than you think. Alright guys, step number 1, this is going to cover your fuel. Now you'll need 3 pieces of information for this part. First thing you're going to need to know is how far you're traveling. You just need to know the scope of the trip we're talking about. Is this, a weekend trip, one state over to see a national park, or are we going coast to coast to the furthest 4 corners of the United States in one shot? So for this example, we use the trip that I took last year, and that was 10,000 miles around the United States. Second piece of information you need is your fuel economy on your motorcycle. Now my bike gets 55 miles per gallon at a constant speed of 55, which never happens, so we're going to round that number down, call that 40 miles per gallon. So we're going 1,000 miles and we're getting 40 miles per gallon. We're going to divide 1,000 by 40. That's 250 gallons of fuel that we're going to be using. Third piece of information we need is how much is that fuel going to cost. Now if you're traveling in the United States or Canada right now, there's this great resource online to find out average fuel prices by state, and that's gasbuddy.com. I use that a lot when I'm planning motorcycle trips. So right now in the United States, average for a high test fuel 91 is a little more than $3 a gallon, but we're going to round that up to 4. So we got 250 gallons times $4 a gallon. That's $1,000 in fuel. Now, if you find that you're getting similar gas mileage and fuel is costing you about the same, there's a great shortcut that you can use that I've actually been using for the last few years. And that is just take 10% of your mileage, that's what your fuel is going to cost. So we're going 10,000 miles, our fuel will cost $1,000, that's 10%. 300 miles would cost us $30 and so on and so on. It's a great shortcut you guys can use. I use it a lot when I'm planning a trip. Okay, step number 2 is going to be your lodging expenses. Now, you're going to need to know a little bit about how you like to travel, and I found the best way to learn that is to just go out and start doing it. But you need to know, are you going to need a hotel every single night, or can you get away with camping most nights and maybe throw in a hotel here and there? So if you're traveling in the United States right now, average for a hotel is about $100 to $150, and they go way up from there. And an average campsite is between $10 and $20 a night. I've seen as high as $35, but that's pretty rare. And you can actually find a lot of free campsites in this country, which I'm going to share with you guys in one of my next videos, so make sure you check that out. Okay, and you're also going to need to know how long is this trip going to take. So for the example we're using, this was a 5-week trip. And I tend to sleep in a tent most nights and maybe throw in a hotel or 2 a week. So I'm going to budget for $150 a week times 5 weeks. So that's $750 for my lodging budget. Okay, step number 3. This is going to be your food and daily expenses. So again, you need to know a little bit about how you like to travel. Do you need 3 sit-down meals a day? Or can you get by with a cup of coffee in the morning, snacks during the day, and maybe cook dinner for yourself at night if you're camping? So you can plan anywhere from $10 to $50 a day for this one. I tend to lean more towards the $10 a day range, so 35 days, $10 a day. We're looking at $350 for this one. It's pretty easy. Okay, step number 4 is going to be your maintenance and incidentals. So you need to know a little bit about your motorcycle for this one. Now in 10,000 miles, I know I'm going to need 3 oil changes at $100 each, and I know I'm going to need to do my final drive, so that's another $50. I know that my spark plugs, my air filter, brake pads, things like that should last for the whole 10,000 miles, so I'm not going to factor that in. Now for incidentals, this is basically anything that you weren't accounting for. What I like to do for this part is just take the price of a set of tires. So for me that's $500, and I know on a 10,000 mile trip it's not likely that I'll get 2 punctures. It's definitely possible, just not likely. So I feel pretty comfortable leaving with enough for two tires. And this way when I do get a puncture, I still have a little bit of money left over for anything else that might come up. Now, it's also a great idea to bring a credit card with you for any kind of big unexpected, catastrophe kind of things. Definitely bring a credit card with you just in case. Always better to be safe than sorry. So for our maintenance and incidentals, we're looking at $350 for maintenance and $500 for incidentals. So we're looking at $850 for this category. Alright, so in conclusion, we have a fuel cost of $1,000, lodging $750, food was $350, and maintenance and incidentals came out to $850. So in this example, a 5-week, 10,000 mile trip cost $2,950 to see almost all of the United States. That's about $84 a day. That's less than some people spend on a week-long cruise. In my next video, I'm going to talk to you guys about some ways to get that number down a little bit, some tips and tricks that I use to save money, and how I actually turned that almost $3,000 trip into less than $2,000 last year. Now, these numbers will vary pretty widely. Everybody travels differently, but just remember to overestimate. You always want to make sure you have more money than you're actually going to need. Alright guys, hope you got something out of this video. If you did, make sure you hit the like button. Don't forget to subscribe if you guys want to see more videos like this. We got a lot of exciting stuff coming up in the next few weeks, so make sure you check that out. Alright guys, question of the day. What is your dream motorcycle trip? The place you want to ride to more than anywhere else in the world? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. See you guys soon.